This is 4 exercises you can start doing today so that you don't have to suffer the effects of having a sore lower back or back problems into your later years. This is complete injury prevention training. If you currently have an injury, do not do these. Go to your local physio and get some professional advice. But these are my favorite 4 exercises so that you never have to deal with back pain. So do these if you don't have any back pain symptoms at the moment, and hopefully you never will. Let's tuck in. Exercise 1/principle 1. We're gonna be doing lateral flexion of the spine, which is basically just side bending. So here, I'm planting my right leg up against the bench to avoid my hips from shifting side to side, so I can just focus on the bending laterally of the spine. Coming all the way down, feeling that big stretch to the QL here, and then squeezing through the oblique muscle. So getting some amazing length, feeling a contraction in this QL, lengthening on this QL, and then squeezing. Coming down as low as you can while keeping the shoulder pointing up towards the roof. You don't want to compensate by leaning down or leaning back. You want to stay nice and flat. Pretend there's 2 panes of glass, one in front, one behind, and you're just laterally bending to one side and squeezing in the other side. If you want to make this slightly harder, arm above head, reach over, you're going to get a bigger stretch, and then squeeze. Now, if you do this away from the bench, you're going to find yourself compensating with your hips. See how that hip is moving to the right? That's why we plant the leg in towards the bench, so we avoid that hip compensation, and we just focus on that stretch through the QL and through the spine. Phenomenal exercise to bulletproof the lower back through lateral flexion. Easy way to regress is to lower the weight, and you can also reduce the range of motion. So I was going quite deep. You don't have to go as deep as me. Just go as deep as you can comfortably with no pain, and get as much length as you can without the pain through that QL, through that lower back, through that spine. So lighter weight here, it's going to be a little bit less challenging, but still getting some awesome length through that QL and lumbar spine. That is principle number 1, lateral flexion of the spine. We have 3 more to go. For my side bending, that lateral flexion exercise or weighted side bends, I like to do anywhere from 2 to 3 sets, 10 reps on each side, progressively overloading. Maybe set 1, you start with 10 kilos, set 2, you go up to 12.5, set 3 is 15 kilos, once or twice a week for optimal results. Let's dive into exercise number 2 and principle number 2. Next up, we're gonna practice rotation of the spine. Now, there are many different ways to practice rotation of the spine, and I always recommend a variety, but this is one of my favorites. We call it the wood chop. What you wanna do here, one of the keys to performing this exercise with the optimal amount of weight that you can actually rotate with, is to anchor your foot against something. I like to anchor my foot directly against the cable pole down the bottom here, so that I'm not off balance when I rotate. So if you're doing this unanchored, it's gonna be much harder to load up the weight, and you're gonna be slightly off balance. Anchor that foot against the pole, find a secure position, and rotate straight arms all the way across. Control and reach back as far as you can. Feel that stretch, feel that rotational stretch through the spine, and then boom, here we go. Anchored that foot, and I'm rotating and squeezing right through my obliques, and I'm feeling a beautiful twist through my spine. So the fact that I'm anchoring my foot allows me to really load up the weight so I can really test the amount of rotational strength I have in my spine. So I'm gonna crank it up a little bit here. Straight arms. Rotate and control back, feel the twist through the spine. And again. Make sure you load up the appropriate amount of weight to where you don't feel any pain, but you feel a beautiful sensation and twist through that spine, and you feel the strength adaptation slowly happening in the background. Let's do the other side. Strong position here. Straight arms. Rotating. Woo! So of course, the main point of this drill, for me at least, is to practice spinal rotation, but you're also building awesome capacity to gain core rotational strength as well. So you're gonna feel those abs light up while you do this too. So it's important to keep your core tight, straighten those arms, anchor that foot, and squeeze every single rep. Also, hot tip, use a pad for your knee so you don't feel any knee pain while you're on the ground. Easy way to regress this movement is to just drop the weight. Drop the weight to whatever level that you need to so that you can execute this exercise with perfect technique. If you need to reduce the range of motion, that's another way to regress this drill as well. Straighten the arms, nice and light here. I'm just rotating with the capacity that I have to rotate. A nice, easy way to regress. But I always recommend anchoring your foot so that you can get the most weight possible without compromising your technique. If I really try and load up the weight here and my foot is not anchored, let's just watch what happens. I'm gonna be off balance and I'm not gonna get the full benefits of this exercise because I'm compensating with the other parts of my body to be able to perform the twist, which is not optimal. So if you really want to get those maximum benefits, anchor that foot, baby, and then drive. Notice how much easier that was. Whew. Reps and sets wise, same as last time. 2 to 3 sets, anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. Load up the weight as much as you can, anchor that foot so you can execute the exercise with perfect form and the optimal amount of weight to really load that spine and core. Once or twice a week for optimal results. Let's move on to exercise number 3 and principle number 3. We're gonna go through spinal flexion. Exercise number 3 and principle number 3, we're gonna load up the barbell to get some spinal flexion strength and mobility. Load it up to around elbow level because we're going for a Zercher grip. So the barbell is gonna be sitting in our elbow crease. So on 20, 20. Chuck that barbell on. Really important to warm up before you go through your main sets. So I'm gonna do a little warm up set, barbell sitting in my elbow crease, and I'm purposely gonna round my spine into flexion and curl down as far as I can, keeping my legs straight, getting a maximum stretch through the lumbar spine and through my hamstrings. And come up the same way I came down. I'm feeling nice and warm. Let's chuck some weight on the bar, baby. The spinal flexion, that is the rounding of the spine, banana back. It's really important to be strong in spinal flexion while your back is rounded, and it's just as important to be strong in spinal extension when you have that nice arch in the back as well. So this drill is one of my favorites to strengthen spinal flexion and decompress the lumbar spine as well as lengthen through the hamstrings as well. So we're practicing all of those with one exercise. This is the Zercher spinal flexion deadlift. I'm going shoulder width apart. The barbell is sitting in my elbow crease. I'm gonna lift out. I'm gonna round my spine. All the way down, feeling that stretch through my hamstrings and through my lower back, and then slowly curl all the way up. And again, that feels so good. And now you know why we loaded it up around elbow height. Easy to place back down. So this is obviously a decent amount of weight. Sometimes I'll load up even 60, 70, maybe 80 kilos if I'm going a little bit heavier. But an easy way to regress is to just drop the weight. So you can lower this, you can even go barbell only and practice that Zercher. Sometimes the hardest part is resting a lot of weight in your elbow crease. So just work within your own limits, find that weight that doesn't cause any pain, and practice, slowly work your way up from week to week from there. Lift it out. I'm gonna round my spine, fold over vertebrae by vertebrae. And it's important to go slow and controlled. Barbell's almost touching the ground. I'm at maximum length of my hamstrings. Slowly curl back up as well. Round that spine, tuck the chin, roll over, vertebrae by vertebrae, reach that maximum length, and then slowly unroll. Easy regression, drop the weight. So here we're just gonna practice barbell only. And if you haven't done this before, barbell only is a great place to start. Another way to regress is to reduce the range of motion like any exercise. Reducing the weight and reducing the range, two very easy ways to reduce the intensity of the exercise. Same rules apply. If you don't have much range, you can stop and come up. Slow and controlled. And after weeks of doing this exercise, you'll notice that you're able to go a lot deeper. So we're actually practicing being strong while in this compromising bent over banana back position. Super important. Think about how many times a day you bend down like this to pick something up. Might be light, might be heavy. And if you don't practice spinal flexion, one day you might actually get a little tweak in that spine, and it could put you out from what you love to do, whether it's tennis, golf, lifting weights, playing with your children. So it's important that you prioritize spinal flexion training, practice being strong with that rounded banana back, all right? Start slow and work your way up. I recommend anywhere from 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 10 slow controlled reps at your own weight, at your own level, and slowly work your way up from there. Let's move on, baby. Exercise number 4, principle number 4, spinal extension. Our back is arched. We need to be strong here, just like we need to be strong here, just like we need to be strong here, just like we need to be strong here. All 4 principles make for a strong, resilient spine, long term. Let's go. We are on exercise number 4. This is your 45-degree hyperextension machine. Really good for everything from lumbar spine, extension, glutes, and hamstring. We're specifically focusing on strengthening through spinal extension, which is where my back is nice and proud and arched. Coming all the way down and squeezing up. You're gonna feel that lower back really firing up. Loaded hyperextensions. Back is nice and arched. The pad is around my hip flexor height. So just here, not any higher, not any lower. Perfect comfort to perform this exercise with nothing digging into bones, no extra pressure through the knee joint. Purely focusing on the lower back. With the barbell on my back, is gonna be the hardest version here. You're really gonna feel that lower back burning on this one, I guarantee you here. Hardest version right here. Full range of motion coming all the way down and all the way up, squeezing through the lower back and glutes as I come up. Oh my God, my lower back is burning. Super simple way to regress this move. Take off the weight, start with your body weight, and then slowly over time, you can start to hold some dumbbells, you can chuck a plate on your back, whatever works for you, whatever you have access to make it more challenging. Really important that you feel no pain while doing this exercise to reduce your barrier to entry by lowering the weight, reducing the range, slowly working your way back up. Reps and sets for our 45-degree hyperextension training spinal extension strength. I recommend anywhere from 2 to 3 sets twice per week, doing about 8 to 15 reps. Work within your limits, start light, start body weight. Slowly you can start to add more and more weight over time, whether it's with dumbbells, a plate on your back, or a barbell on your back. That's gonna be your hardest variation, and you're gonna be gaining a lot of spinal extension strength week on week. So make sure you stay consistent, and over time, you're gonna have a bulletproof, injury-proof lower back. And there you have it, my favorite 4 exercises so that you never have to deal with back pain in the first place. Remember, there are many different ways to train these 4 principles, but those are my favorites. Try them this week, let me know how they feel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.